I'm here with two of my amazing friends, Kevin and Nikki Campbell of CMG Home Loans. I've had the privilege of getting to know them over the past couple of years, and when I say they're amazing, I truly mean that. And I figure there's no better way to get to know people than make cocktails with them. So today we're making it's called a Bad Bunny from TikTok. It's Peeps, tequila, and ice, and that is it. So I'm gonna make this while we talk, and at the very end, we're all gonna try it and rate it together. So first, why don't you guys tell us a little bit about yourself?
All right, I'm Nikki Campbell. I have been doing mortgages for 17 years. Grew up here in the Valley and moved away for a little bit, moved back, and love working with Jason, and have my husband as my business partner.
Yeah, hi everybody. So first of all, I'd like to thank Jason for inviting us here and having some drinks. We love the property group, we love Jason. A little bit about myself. I am a 27-year Navy veteran, so I love the VA buyers. Love talking to you guys. I've been doing mortgages now for probably 3 or 4 years, I think. After I got retirement, my wife said I couldn't sit around and do nothing at home, so this is my second chapter of life. So.
A little bit about the cocktail. All you do is add your favorite tequila, whatever that is, a little shot and a half, however much you want. You throw 1 peep in there and you just stir it around until most of the sugary color comes off. And then you throw in 1 more just to kind of let it soak. So while this one soaks, why don't you guys tell us a little bit about some products that you offer?
We have a whole slew of products. Of course, the traditional stuff that we love to do, VA, FHA, Fannie, Freddie. We have down payment assistance programs. The one that I think catches the eye a lot right now is our bank statement loans and our 1099. We tend to have some pretty loose guidelines on those. And I've just kind of made it my, I guess, my expertise to learn how to do them really well. So yeah, we have quite a few of those, and we have some really good construction loans too. So,
what type of a person would benefit from a bank statement?
Self-employed borrowers. So a quick example, I had a customer that was only self-employed for about 16 months, so he couldn't qualify with normal tax returns. So we looked at 12 months business bank statements and was able to use the income from that and get a loan for him. Get a home now, so he didn't have to wait to get his 2 years tax returns. Some people also write a lot of stuff off on their tax returns, self-employed. So sometimes, you'll hear lenders say, hey, do your taxes and make sure you show a lot of income, then you pay a lot of taxes on it. And instead of doing that in lieu, just go ahead and do a bank statement loan. Then you don't have to mess with your taxes.
Yeah, so I'd really like to highlight, Nikki's being shy, but she was at one time the #1 construction lender in the country. And so, she can do that really well. A couple of years ago, 2 years ago or so, we're amazing at VA loans, right? From the single closed construction loan to everything. We just know that program like the back of the hand. And I think the other thing that I really like to bring attention on is our down payment assistance. In today's market, those are really good products, and we can even crowdsource. So you guys are all familiar with crowdsourcing. We can even help you crowdsource your down payment. So if you're having an event, from a birthday party to a wedding, or hey, maybe you're just turning 21 and you want to have a party, instead of your friends buying you a toaster or whatever, let's crowdsource your down payment for your house. So I think those are pretty cool things that we got.
Yeah.
What's kind of one of the biggest myths that you get from potential buyers that they have about what you do?
One of the most common myths I get are people just say, I can't buy a house.
Yeah.
Or I'm not qualified. And I'm like, well, who have you talked to for that? And sometimes truly people aren't qualified yet, but we get them on a path to get there. So I always just say, hey, you need to talk to a professional, not your neighbor, and get a few opinions. So we're great at what we do, but so are a lot of other lenders. So get second opinions, get third opinions, and get with somebody that you trust and realize, and then go through the process with them. But it's very common when people are like, oh, I just can't get qualified. I can't buy a home. Yeah. Or my credit is too low. Or I have bad credit. One lady called me the other day and said, I have bad credit. And I was like, oh, okay. Well, she was like a 680 credit score. And I'm like, That's average
Yeah.
credit. That's not bad. Like I have a lot of programs that you could utilize, and she had no clue, and now she's qualified and ready to buy a house. So
That's great.
Yeah, one of the myths that I get all the time, Jason, is all we do is, fill out an application for you and we just turn it in, right? And that's terrible, right? And so one of the things that I feel like clients should know is that we're actually a team behind you to help you solve problems and get you to yes, so the bank. So we're not just collectors of information, fill out an application and fill it out. If we're behind you, whether it's going to take you 6 months or a year, we're there to help you solve problems and build you to the home purchase, right? So whether you're a seasoned investor and you want to build your portfolio or you're a first-time home buyer, our job is to work with you to organize your life and your finances to get to yes, right? So, yeah.
what are some good VA myths? Gosh, we get those all the time.
Oh, I'm sure you do.
Yeah.
We get the one very often that people, for one, don't even know that they can buy a home on a VA. Like if you've served, there's a certain level of serving you have to do, then you can buy a home with a VA loan. Or often we'll get, well, I bought a house on VA, I can't do it again.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you can. Or the FHA. People say a lot of time, oh, I already bought a house with the FHA. Well, you can have another one.
Yeah.
You could,
It's
you know
not a
what I mean?
one-time
So
thing.
it's not a one-time thing. Yeah.
Yeah. Whether it's VA, like some people don't know, like VA, we just did this the other day. VA client didn't know, but it also applies to first-time buyers, FHA or whatever. But I don't have to go after your mom and pop, typical single-family residence with a fence around it. I can buy duplex, triplex, even up a fourplex, and I can offset my mortgage payment with buying that multi-unit property and rent it out right later. So we help clients all the time get into that and wealth through property by not buying your single family unit but multi-property units all the time.
That's great. One question I got when I reached out to just some people on Instagram with questions they had was, where do you guys get your money? Because their thought was that you have this huge stack of money in your back pocket. And so they were just wondering how do you get it and how do you give it out? And so maybe just a brief explanation of how kind of all of that works in a nutshell, which I know is really hard.
Okay, so investors, obviously. So every company, so CMG, we're not a bank, we're a mortgage bank. So we don't do depositories. So banks will get it from their own depositories. But we actually get money from investors. So we ourselves have our internal products that our company has money. They have their own portfolio money. We sell the loans to Fannie, Freddie on the secondary market, FHA, VA, the money, it gets sold on the secondary market. But we have investors as well that we can broker out to. The money comes from those particular investors or banks. So, comes from all kinds of areas.
Good explanation.
Not from me or Kevin.
Yeah.
We can't lend our own money.
No, that's great.
That's private money.
And then probably the biggest question that I get now as a realtor, and I know how to answer that from my standpoint, was I'm not going to buy right now because interest rates are too high.
Yeah.
How do you guys answer that?
Well,
What should you do?
they came down yesterday.
They did.
Whew.
Finally.
How do you
So let me so in today's market, the first thing I would tell people who are interested in buying homes today now is the fact that interest rates are up. I would say go see a realtor right away, because now the competitiveness, 30 families rushing in every hour to go buy a home, that's diminished, right? So now's the perfect time to go fall in love with a home and then just date the rate. And what I mean by that is rates are going to change. There's lots of options. For us alone, we offer a program where we're going to give you the equivalent of $3,600 for the next 2 years to refinance when the rates get better. So that's the lender option that you can help to defend. And there's lots of options now in this non-competitive market where maybe the seller can kick in and buy your rate down. There's tons of incentives now in this marketplace that are not available in another marketplace, right? So you're either going to pay more for a house later, or you're going to pay a little bit more for the rate now, but there's lots of options now in this marketplace to buy that rate down. So,
well, and like as a realtor, values are still going up.
Mm-hmm.
So we're not really seeing the decreases that everyone talked about, this
Right.
market crash. It's not happening. The demand is too high. So you buy a house now at a higher interest rate, that house value is just going to keep going up. You can refinance your rate. You can pay the house off. You can pay extra payments. You can do all kinds of things to negate that. But the waiting a year, your value, you can't change that value. You can't buy that back. So
that was a perfect explanation.
Yeah.
I love it. So our peeps have marinated in the tequila, I think, long enough. We have a couple of just the classic purple and then one of the sour watermelon. So you can decide who's going to have who. So then once that's done, you just add ice. And then you're going to stir it up a little bit more to get it all chilled up. While I'm stirring these, what is your go-to cocktail?
Me, vodka tonic. Or a mule. Yeah. How about you, Jason? You haven't really shared much about yours.
I haven't. Mine, and some people might know this about me, is it's tequila.
Okay.
Generally just on the rocks, so I'm a pretty simple guy.
This is good for you.
It is good.
Yeah.
Sometimes I'll throw in like a lemon lime, but
That's a pretty stout drink.
I know.
I'm typically a Jameson and ginger ale kind of guy.
You seem like that.
Yeah.
Sour watermelon? You know
I want it.
Oh,
okay.
Yeah, she's calling dibs.
2 classics. So I haven't tried these again, so we're gonna try it. We can rate it 1 to 10.
I feel like I'm in Mexico right now.
It is okay. Cheers.
Cheers.
Here we go.
Tastes like tequila.
Tastes like tequila.
Tastes like tequila.
Tastes like tequila
I like tequila, so mine's a 10 out of 10.
I mean,
because you made it, I'm gonna give it a 9 out of 10.
Okay.
But I'm not a tequila fan, but yeah.
Be
I don't
honest.
like tequila.
You don't? Okay.
I'm not a tequila fan. So
It tastes just like straight tequila on the rocks.
It does. The
There's
peeps did not
no-
do much, unfortunately.
We need like 12 more peeps in that bad boy and a little bit of syrup.
Yeah.
Maybe. But no,
It was worth a shot.
It tastes like Patron.
Tastes like Patron. It does. Well, you got a chance to meet 2 amazing people. If you need any home loan, anything, they are 2 of my favorites. So.
Or just
Reach out.
advice. We're here for advice.
Advice.
We can absolutely help you get there.
And a roadmap.
Yeah.
I like it.
Thanks, Jason.
Thanks for having us out today. We really do appreciate it.
Absolutely. Thank you.